Making a list, he's checking it twice. He's gonna find out who's loyal. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad. You're very good for goodness sake. You I love that song. How we feeling, my doggies? Good morning, good morning. It is 12:24, which is Christmas Eve. Remember that movie? Christmas. It was like that 80s movie. I don't remember. I won my $2. Anyway, my name is Scott Redler. I'm the Chief Strategics Officer of T3Live.com and founder of Red Dog Mindset. I appreciate you guys tuning in. It is the 6:30 Club. We've had 4 days of really nice movement, 4 days of Santa Claus. So hopefully you've been stacking some days, making some money, and you're feeling good. Because if you're not, you should be on the beach, you should be in the mountains, and you shouldn't be at your desk. But if you're at your desk, you better be prepared with multiple plans and know what to feel, what the action is, because, every stock's not created equal. They never are. Better off dead. That was the movie Rocks. Exactly. What up, Ken? Good morning. Good morning, Tim, Vincent, Phil, Adam. What up, Jay Rice, Jim? All right. So here we are, right? Half day today. No market tomorrow. And then Friday's a full day. So if you have some options, you better be careful. You're running out of time. But anyway, here's the spies. Remember, things looked pretty hairy coming into the CPI. Then the light CPI thing stabilized. And then here you had 3 nice days. At this point, spies are down 21 cents. Not a whole lot going on. Qs, led the way, which is always nice to see. If you remember yesterday, I'm like, hey, guys, are we going to hold 617? And we did. You could have bought that dip. That was pretty good. A lot of mega cap tech names did pretty well yesterday. Remember this doji style candle? Doji style candles are great when the range constricts, you can see which way it resolves, and it resolved to the upside. And now, here we are. I don't know how much power there's going to be, or this or that. Intel's halting testing with Nvidia. Okay. So what's Nvidia doing? Let's see. Intel is down $1.60. All right. I'm not in Intel, so that's good. And what's Nvidia doing? Nvidia had a great day yesterday. Nvidia's down $1. Okay. Nvidia is probably, a candidate to go red to green today for cash flow. I know with the open house yesterday, the Alpha team, people like, Red Dog, I want to see you day trade. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14 positions, but we're here to day trade and make cash flow. I'm like, all right, let's find some day trades. And yesterday, bought some Nvidia, while it was lower. It was like down 60 cents. And then, traded it. It went green, had a nice day. And here you go into this, 188 to 191 resistance zone. The high yesterday was 189.33. I think it should be buyable today. I might buy some Nvidia. I might buy it right now for it to go red to green. I feel like I've given you guys a lot of red to green, green to red type of cash flow type plays, and you guys don't say thank you. No, I'm kidding. You want to say thank you? Subscribe to the Red Dog Mindset above. If you've been enjoying the the 630 Club for free since 2020. Join the Red Dog Mindset. You'll be able to do the 20 to 520, the 630 Club, and you'll be able to watch it on Fridays, because next year I'm thinking about doing Monday through Friday instead of just Monday through Thursday. But anyway, let's get rid of this. This is 189.23. Remember this 191 spot? That was when it failed to hold during earnings, and the market came in a lot. Well, here is, here you are. So I would think that, you get some kind of, some kind of red to green trade in Nvidia. But we'll see. If you want to look, sometimes everyone's like, Red Dog, can I see what the daily chart looks like on it? So here, this is the daily chart from yesterday on Nvidia. You can go to the intraday and see that this is a one spot right here. It would make it very, very easy if we were to hold going across, which is like 187-ish, 187.75. And then if it stock's any good, it should really, 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 really not, give back this 186. So that would be too much. So up here would be great. Holding 188 going green, that would be a nice little extra cash flow trade. What up, Nugsy? Haven't seen you in a while. Good morning, Scotty Claus. Thank you for my doggy dog. What's up, buddy? What up, Phil? All right, anyway, so that's Nvidia. Nvidia was a good cash flow trade. I'll tell you what wasn't, FSLR. What a pain in the friggin' ass stock. I'm never trading a solar name again. I hate when this happens. You get a nice breakout candle like that, and then that happens next. I lost some decent money in that, so did some of the guys, and I apologize. I didn't want to trade solar names, but it looked good. There was a decent move, and that happened. Anyway, what are you going to do about it? So moving away from that, I like when there are Mag 7 names and there are good setups. And I told you guys, and became a power play. I'm like, Amazon looks like we're going to see 232. There were three things I thought could happen this week. I was like, Amazon can go to 230, 240, and that's where it went. That was a really nice play. I was buying options like at $1.70 or $1.50. Sold them up to $3 yesterday. In the stock, still I have about 25% of the calls left on. Maybe it works its way to 239. Anybody catch Amazon with me yesterday? I hope you did. Anyway, so it was Intel halting testing with Nvidia trip. Okay, yeah, we'll see how that goes. So this was a nice trade, and we'll look for hopefully a little bit more. Tim said he caught it. That's good. Some people are like, hey, when will Apple, get above this descending channel? I don't know. Hopefully soon. I kind of threaded the needle perfectly yesterday, where I bought Apple lower and I added to the options when they were like 75 cents, and they did go to like $1.50 or something like that. That was a nice trade, but it's really not even a trade yet. It's just trying to hold. It's just going sideways. So we'll see. We'll see if maybe the buyback machine gets turned on today or not. Right now it's down like 40 cents. It's not a big deal, but it's getting tight. Microsoft getting tight. Look at this tight pattern here. Microsoft's been out of play. It's been horrible ever since the double top at 55, 53, going sideways, trying to get back above the moving averages. So I actually bought the 490 calls, like a lotto play for Friday if they want to take Microsoft through this area. Or you probably could be a buyer. What's this? Let's see. What's this high here? This is 488. So this is where resistance would be 493. So I would say if Microsoft starts to get about 488, could be a decent little trade, or you could do options, or you could go buy options for next week. Sideways action, not so horrible. You missed Amazon. Tesla. Well, Tesla right now just needs a little bit of time. That was my other. I had three things. I said, could Amazon get to 232? Could Tesla get to 500? And could ASTS get to 85? Well, Tesla almost got there, but it was very tradable. It wound up getting to 498.82, got above 495. You could have been a buyer that day, pushed through, sell a little bit, hold someone who felt the hold got smaller. Now, I think it's fine. It just needs some more time. So let this go sideways. Let the 8-day catch up. Don't overtrade it. And then maybe this could be a next week story, or it could be a January story. But overall, don't lose sight of Tesla. It just didn't have the power. But anyway, what had power and had a great launch? ASTS. Look at this. Looks like it's on its way back to the highs of the year. Remember this red dog reversal that got us out? Well, right around here got us back in. And anyway, just be a little careful, because sometimes they try and sell the news, and it's up $2. So if you're long some, trim some. But I don't. They actually added launches to their calendar, which people didn't even price in like this stock could really be 150 next year. So don't lose sight of it. Trade it, to your, risk tolerance and see how it goes. But this looks you overtraded it. It happens. So this is ASTS. Looks good. Poet also is a concept name for next year. Inside action here. Hopefully you guys added to it and what's it called? Had this real little red dog reversal move. And anyway, need some time. It's trading better. It's trading better. Just know, that these things take time. Anyway, let's move on. Perfect launch. That's cool. I love a perfect launch. I love it when you can smell napalm in the morning. What movie was that? Anyway, holy gold and silver took off the power play. People are like, Red Dog, why are you taking off the power play? I'm like, well, I have like 7 power plays going, and I just thought it was a good idea to take it off. We put this power play on here. This was the second one we did here, and what a move, though. If you're making money in gold and silver, congratulations. It's followed every momentum rule there is. There hasn't been momentum names having as much momentum as the gold and the silver. Wow, that's a move. Last real setup here was right in here, and it's been above the 8 days since. If you've been shorting gold and silver, you should get a chalkboard and say, I will never short things above the 8-21 day. I will never short things above the 8-21 day. I will never short things unless it's a Q trade and use a stop. I tried to short silver yesterday, but it went red, didn't cover, and I got stopped out, and I lost a little bit of money. But that not a vendetta. Some people have been trying to short silver since this. Like, Red Dog, it's an outside day. I'm like, okay, and then you rebuilt and you went. But anyway, Path I think got added to the S&P 400. That's nice. I have options on in Path, 2 sets. I wish I had the stock on, but yesterday's candle, engulfed me, bastards. Anyway, what's Path doing? Path I think was up a decent amount, up $1.27. That's good. So Path, yeah. So sometimes it's easier to have options on. Caterpillar. I haven't been in Caterpillar in a long time. I don't even really look at it as much. That's why, because look at this breakout failure. That's not nice. Breakout, test it, go back up, not breakout failure. These energy names or earth moving names or whatever the hell these things are, they just trade like crap. Anyway, Apocalypse Now is the movie. What movie is that, Rick? Hey, Rick Friedman. Rick Friedman's on the Alpha team. By the way, if you've been testing the Alpha team this week, I'm not on top of my game. I've been a little sick. I apologize. We've had some decent trades. You see the way we operate. It's really for you to see how we prepare for the day. First thing I do is obviously I just came out of the real sauna. I did a 25-20 workout with a few hundred people. That was fun. Went in my ice barrel. Now I'm here. Get the mind right so I could then situate for the X's and O's. It's the way to get your morning, started on the right foot and then get ready. And then I do like 40 charts. We listen to music. We listen to some pep talk. And we're not sitting here listening to CNBC, Bloomberg, and Fox Business. Anyway, thank you, Phil. I appreciate that. Anyway, so let's see. Let's move on. Yeah, so someone was saying, did you see Tim Cook bought Nike? All right. Well, it's funny. Someone brought up Nike yesterday, and I'm like, I think it could be a good January effect play. Stock's been battered and bruised, like really battered and bruised from, 120 down to here. I'm sure a lot of people are just taking tax loss sells on it. So what we say yesterday, if you want to buy the $60 calls, is it up because of that? We have $1.36. I remember when guys were trying to bottom feed on Lulu and people thought the story was over and it kind of got rebuilt. I remember during this right here. Someone's like, what about Lulu? I'm like, well, it's getting a little bit better. And that was right there. And then you had the gap up on earnings or whatever the hell that was and hit the 200 day. Some broken names hit the 200 day. Some people are like, hey, Red Dog, will CMG hit the 200 day? I'd like it to. I'm in this for a January effect. It's trying to work its way up. I went to Chipotle yesterday for Chase. I had chicken tacos that were pretty good, real chicken. Anyway, little broken move, but maybe it can continue, for tax loss selling. Some people are in toast for a little bit of same type of deal here where it's coming back up. But these are just broken bounces. I wish it was more. Are you the same guy that said I'm sick again? I have not missed one day, not one day of work, not one 6:30 club, not one 5:20, not one day of work. I've been sick maybe 4 times in the last decade, and this isn't even sick. This is just a little sniffles. But anyway, I love people out there. So let's go. What else are we looking at today? We went with Nvidia. We're going to see if we can go red to green today. That could be good for cash flow. I'm going to be looking at that. Um, Amazon, let's see if it continues. Tesla probably needs another day. Exactly. There's a lot of trolls out there. I would love to freaking go to the playground and say and invite every troll, and then invite Rick and the boys, and let's just have like an old school rumble, kind of like back in the day from Outsiders. You guys be the trolls and we'll be like the good guys, something like that. Anyway, Meta looks a little bit better. To get Ken, get the guys, and let's go after all the trolls. Anyway, this does look better. It's just hard. The way Meta trades, it's like loose and wide. You have to be inverse level. There's no like you buy it that day and buy it and goes higher and momentum, but maybe soon we'll have that. I'd love to invite some of these guys to the mat. I was a wrestler, by the way, back in the day, and I've been in 3 fights. 3 fights. And we want to talk to those guys that didn't end well for them. Anyway, so all right, let's talk a little bit about. I'm going to talk about it once, and then I'm not going to say it again. I'm going to actually earmark this because I have a lot of friends in the industry. Okay, in the cannabis industry, and it's been horrible. It's been like a 5-year bear market, maybe even more. So if you remember recently, all the celebrities started to get on Trump to declassify, meaning decriminalize it, which helps them do business. It helps them do the different states, whatever it does. And we bought it here and made good money. Then some of the news came out. I bought it on this day at 5.15, sold it all the way up. And then people thought the news was over. So from what I'm being told, and I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna bring it up again after this, that that there's a lot more to the story. That they're gonna they're reaching out to exchanges and they're gonna get some of the companies online. That they're really gonna declassify. You're gonna be able to do safe banking. Like this industry is going to explode next year, and finally, the stock market might have benefits from it. So if you just want to have some exposure to it because you're watching and this and that, just go out to like February, March and buy like the $7 calls and forget about it. That's what I'm gonna do. I into this dip, by the way, I bought the $6 calls into this. Like I started buying it because there's a big spread. I've been buying the $6 calls for February, right? February and March, I think, and I'm in some stock. But if you want to do it and just have it, I think this is a really good setup for February-ish. You're not going to hear it again. And, I think it's a good, just put some money in it, a few $1,000. And if this is right, this MSOS could be like $10, $12, $14, at some point in the first quarter of next year. But that's it. I won't talk about it again. Right now it's a broken and tough sector. It's not like a lot of other things out there. Kind of like Bitcoin. Bitcoin's pretty broken. It's doing a whole lot of nothing. My biggest loss yesterday was buying Bitcoin, thinking it was going to go from red to green and have a push, and it just didn't. What's Bitcoin doing right now? It's probably down a little bit. It's down 20 cents. Not a big deal. What's Avago doing? What is Avago doing? Having a broken bounce. It's up 90 cents. Let's look at the chart. Yeah, broken bounce. Sometimes broken bounces are good and you have levels to trade against. You could have traded against 321 and then it got above 335 and seems like there's room to the moving averages. Kind of like Oracle, broken bounce. Going sideways though, came off the lows, going sideways, maybe wants to fill this gap. There's definitely different parameters for different trades, but we'll see. Path, yes, I do like Path, and it's, unfortunately yesterday's candle got some of my guys out. I have options on, which I did. Sometimes it's easier just to buy options into a pullback and go out 6 weeks because this candle definitely engulfed this, and now it's up. That sucks. So some people are like, what do I think is gonna have a really good year next year? Like my 12 best stocks. Well, I'm coming out with the report in the next day or two, so you'll see them. A lot of times people who get the report, they're like, Red Dog, you should have just put your entire trading account in all 12 of your names. I'm like, and you would have made more money than trading them. Like, but then what would I do every day? I wouldn't be in the sauna. I wouldn't be coming here. We wouldn't be listening to 80s rock. What would we be doing all day? Come on. Anyway, but there are ways to make money from the Redler report. There's some narratives and there's some good lessons in there. But anyway, ONDS is it? You think it's okay? So let's do that. I'm above my time. I want everyone to talk about real quick their best 2026 play. Matt says ONDS. Okay, I like that. It's a drone play. Looks pretty good. Will ONDS take out 1170 at some point in 980? Maybe. Did a doji yesterday. Who else? ASTS is another great play for 2016. We'll see what happens today. Who else has a good 2016 play? You know, some guys say Amazon's going to be the best mega cap tech name next year. It seems like he can. Best play was GLD. So Alption Rap, you still think that Palantir is going to be next year's biggest winner? You know, I did a little top until here. It probably takes out 207 and continues. You know, they're still growing, and the Carp is a crazy man, but he's doing what he's got to do. Let's take this away now. Joby, I like Joby. Ronald, I like that. I like Joby for 2026. I think this thing is going to at some point continue to build, take out this descending channel, get above 21. Some point in 2026. Joby, in my opinion, is going to be in the 20s and like 25-ish. I like it. Dash. I don't know if Dash is going to do as well as it did. If you remember, I started, going with Dash way back when here. A lot of my hedge fund guys loved it. I showed you guys the weekly chart back here with the big cup and handle. This was the big buy. They were like, it's getting back to the highs of the year, which it was awesome. It got to 283. Do I think Dash is going to get to 350 next year? They have a lot of things they got to do, and the economy's got to stay strong. But it's in the game, I think that it's kind of rebuilding here. I did get my guys out pretty well, so they just started buying, and I bought some options for next week. But when it had the double top and then it broke right here, this is when we got away from Dash and started rebuying in here and here. And now I would think in a little bit of time, maybe it takes out this 239 to get to 250. Oh, APLD, that's a good one too. The same guy that likes Poet and the same guy that liked ASTS at $4 says he loves APLD. So if you make this into a bigger range here, it's kind of building. It's come a lot, so that's something too. Anyway, it's 6:54. T3 is going to be pissed off at me because I'm only supposed to do this for 20 minutes. This is for free. I've been doing this 6:30 Club for free since 2020, which I love to do. I like to add value to the world. And if you can make money watching this 6:30 Club, imagine how much money you can make if you became a member of the Alpha team and you hung all day and you listened to me on the radio from 9:15 to 11:30. You got to see the positions live when they come on and come off. But if you don't do that, that's cool too. You piece together your resources. If you had a great 2025 without it, and okay, if you had a shitty 2025, maybe you got to make changes. If you want change, you better make some changes. And if you do everything and you love Red Dog, join Red Dog Mindset. Get your mind right so you can execute on the X's and O's and go from good to great. A lot of you guys are good out there. I feel like I need to go to good to great sometimes where I do well, but I could do better. So if you feel like you could do better and there's a little things, I'm in a good position at 53 years old after seeing so many different kinds of markets and doing 2 Ironman, 10 marathons, all these races, all this stuff that I can help you get from good to great. It's up to you, though. You got to put the work in. A lot of people are lazy out there. Don't be lazy. Do hard things. So when hard things happen, you can handle it. I'm going to go hang out with the Alpha team, listen to some music. I have an open house. You're welcome to join. I'll see you there. Merry Christmas. No Chinese food for me.